Yes, it's not very, very good. It is fantastic. It really, really is. Yeah, there's just two things about this Camas C5 that I do not like. And yeah, I'll show you that in a minute. Let's go. I want to thank Camas for sending me this bundle over here, the pedals, the C5, the cheapest direct drive bass that you can buy, bass/wheel because they're stuck together, that you can buy on the market, and then also a clamp to stick it to my table. Anyway, I've got that Logitech G923 in the studio and also the Thrustmaster T48, so it's going to be very, very interesting to put them head to head against one another. However, today, I'm just going to be focusing on this, the Camas C5 steering wheel. Now this here will set you back $249, and if you want to buy the bundle, you're going to be paying $329. So you're basically getting the table clamp for free. I have an affiliate link that Camas has very kindly provided me, so it will save you 5% if you're interested in any of these products. I'll link it right over here. You just put that at checkout and simsalabim, you saving some money. Thank you, Camas, for sending me this. I say it all the time, what I think is sha-na-na-na-na and looks actually fantastic, you might not like. Looks are subjective, of course. Everybody has their own tastes. Now, when I took this Camas out of the box, a C5, I mean, it didn't go, oh, I didn't think, wow, this is an amazing looking wheel. However, when I do have it mounted next to the Logitech or the Thrustmaster, this is definitely my favorite looking one. It is less bulky compared to those other two. As you can see, it is nice and thin. As well, there's a bit of Camas branding there at the top, and this is all made out of aluminium, and it feels very, very nice. As well as I can say, this steering wheel is very nicely stitched, and they say this is leather-like material. So yeah, it's not leather, it's most likely pleather. But yeah, it still presents very well. They do give you these stickers over here that you can stick on here around your rotary knobs if you want to make if that makes a difference to you. I myself actually prefer it without the stickers, but each to their own, of course. Mounting this C5 is either going to be very, very easy if you opted for this table clamp, or it's going to be a little bit more tricky if most likely, like myself, you wanted to try and mount it onto your rig. Now, let me show you. You take this Camas C5 out of your box and then you mount these. You screw in these bars that you can see over here. These bars are then used, and when you are using it with your table clamp, it's very easy. They just slide in like that and you clamp this to your table. Fantastic. However, if you do want to use this C5, let's say you want to mount it to some aluminium profile or maybe to a deck, your holes are going to have to be very, very specific. These here, unfortunately, also are not 80 mils apart. So if you are going to try and mount it to profile, for example, you can see it doesn't line up. I think that would have been a nice option to have. Maybe just some extra holes. Four, five, six. Okay. It would have been nice to have some extra holes over here where you can mount, you know, onto profile. I think it would have just made it a little bit easier. This brings me to my very first thing that I really, really do not like about this thing. Now, this here is absolutely rock solid when you are mounting it and you're screwing it tight, which is fantastic. However, look at these marks that this Camas C5 has made on my table. Now, unfortunately, I did not notice it, and I've been mounting this thing on and off because it's my wife's work table over there. So when I'm testing it, every time after I had to use it, I had to remove it, just like a lot of guys like you would. Now, after I noticed these holes, it is from the screws here, and you can see in here, like right in there. When you tighten this hard, the screws stick out just that millimeter or so, and that makes the indentations in your table. So yeah, I can suggest, if you are going to be using this on a wooden table, yeah, put a piece of metal, a profile or scrap piece of wood in between here, and then mount it onto your table. I actually, once I'd done that, I realized, wow, that extra inch, you know, extra inch is always nice, but that extra inch in height actually made it more comfortable for myself to use it at my table anyway. So yeah, that's the one thing I really don't like about this so far. I'll tell you about the other thing as the video goes along. The Camus C5 has a wheel that is 280 millimeters in diameter. Now that is fantastic when you're driving Formula cars and you need quick and responsive actions. However, I do think most people would probably have liked, you know, the wheel to be just that little bit bigger, maybe 300 millimeter. However, I do understand why Camus has gone this route. The bigger you make the wheel, the less responsive the wheel feels. Then you might need a little bit more help when it comes to the direct drive base. And at 5 Newton meters, you might start asking a little bit too much from that wheelbase if you are making this wheel too wide. So yeah, that is probably the reason why Camus has gone for the 280mm wheel. The wheel itself feels very, very nice. There's a very, very tiny amount of squish to it. You can feel there must be a nice piece of metal going all around. And I mean, there is no twists. It is absolutely solid. So yes, the stitches done all very nice. I don't think this is real leather over here. However, it does feel like it, and it does look like it. It's a very good quality wheel, much nicer than what I had on the Logitech and on the Thrustmaster. As well, you have 20 buttons. 20 buttons! I don't know what you're going to do with all these buttons, but yeah, you got 20 buttons, so you're not going to be short of any buttons, and they're very nice. You can hear one or two of them sounding a little bit different, but under the fingers they feel all the same. And yeah, it's actually a nice firm press that is needed. These buttons aren't little floppy buttons. Look, I can glide over these and I'm not pushing any of them by mistake, which is good. You've got 3 rotary knobs here in the front. Now these here they definitely not the nicest I've ever felt. However, they're not the worst either. They feel, you know, for the price point of this product, I would say they feel very good. The one thing I can say, you can see these don't line up nicely. Again, you know, for the price point, you can't really argue too much. I'm just nitpicking now. But yeah, if you are facing this head on, these dials, they don't line up exactly, you know, facing north if you have them in that position. The C5 over here also has this nice screen. Now this will show you what speed you are currently going or what gear your car is in, and it's displayed in this nice blue color, and you see it very nice and bright. You can also set this, and the LEDs here at the top, you can set the brightness between 1 and 8. So when you are driving in a very dark room and you don't want this to be absolutely blinding and you set it on 1, I could still see it very clear. And then when all the windows are open and the room is nice and bright and I set this back up to 8, I also see all the LEDs and the screen nice and clear, which is fantastic. I would like, however, Camus to introduce a few different options maybe for us, a couple extra at least, of what the screen can display us. Personally, for me, seeing what gear I'm in or what speed I'm going currently is not that useful information for me. I would have absolutely loved if, for example, I change my brake bias and that comes up on the screen. That there would be super helpful for me. Anyway, that's something you can't do at the moment. I don't know if they could maybe do it with a software upgrade. I don't see why not. Maybe hint, get on it, Camus. But yeah, the screen is a very nice extra to have. On top of a screen, you get these 10 LED lights. Again, they just show you your revs that you are currently going. It would have been nice, in my opinion, to get some flag lights over here as well. So let's say these rev lights here doubled. There's a yellow flag in a race. It would be nice if they all light up yellow, or at least some of them. It's just an extra little feature that I think would have been nice, and maybe just the cherry on top. But yeah, the screen and the And the lights here at the top work very well for the data that they actually do provide you. To the other thing that I do not like about this Kama C5, and that's to the back of this wheel. It's these tiny, tiny little shifters. Look how small they are. I mean, poof. I don't know who designed this and sat down at the table and started using this and said, wow, these small shifters are amazing. I don't know. Personally, I mean, if you look at the column here of the steering wheel, the shifters are barely the size of this column over here. So I do think they could have made these a little bit bigger. The shift itself does not actually feel all that bad. I actually think if they just was a bit wider and more chunky, something for me to grip onto, I would have been very happy and content with the shifters. I wouldn't even have discussed it as long as what I'm discussing it now. Or I just think even if they do, if it's just for some reason they decided to go for the small ones, just to give people an option to have larger shifters, maybe just drill 2 holes in here, and maybe for an extra $5 or $10, you know, if they do not want to include it with the initial product, to save us money, you know, and not everybody perhaps maybe needs the bigger, chunkier handles. I would say most people would want them though. And if they then do offer them on the store for, let's say, $10, you can buy it and just screw them in yourself over here, then simsalabim, that is a problem. That's not a problem anymore. But yeah, these small things here, in my opinion, I did not like them as much. Sometimes, especially when I was doing a bit of rallycross on iRacing, you know, and this wheel is spinning, yeah, sometimes you do look for these, I know, you know, you do look for these shifters. So, yeah, I think this is one area of this product that definitely can be improved. Okay guys, we're at Sebring, a nice bumpy track, a nice place to actually test this Kama C5. Now, I've got the camera here set up here in the back looking at, you know, so you can see how this steering wheel responds to what is actually happening in the simulator. Okay, there's one thing I want to point out here. Hold on, I might have to move us. I think my face might be in the way. Let me move us right here in the middle so I can tell you what I mean by it. Okay, over here is the adjustments you can make in this LMP3 car. You've got traction control, you've got your throttle shaping, and then your brake bias there at the top. Now, what I would have loved, at the moment, this little screen you see here, the only thing you can do with that screen is see either the gears you are in or the speed you are going. I really think it would have been such a nice thing. If I were to, example, look here, change the brake bias. Now, you can see the brake bias on the screen changing. If I could actually change that and this were to just pop up, you know, in the 3 figures over there, it would have been amazing. You know, changing the traction control, if I, let's say, put that up to 3 and it maybe just say TC3, I think, wow, what a big deal that would have been. You know, same here again, you know, I put my pit limiter on, you see pit limiters on, it would have been nice there to have something to say pit, you know, but you know, at the end of the day, for $250, you know, we can't expect much more. But I think they can implement these things in a software update. And I don't think, you see there, I feel it very nice whenever I go on a curb. Let's go on this curb here. I feel that very nice in my force feedback. There you can see the jolt of me going off track. I can feel a bit of the road textures. I'm not even that far off my my perfect lap. Whenever I'm, you know, putting in the time over here, I can feel going over there. There, the wheel lock up. Oh, you see that? Feel it clear as day, clear as day. The biggest thing for me is if you mount this on the rig, you can see I'm swiveling about here in an office chair, which is not ideal. Let's see if I lose traction. You see there? I can catch it. Try it again. Look at. I can feel whenever the car's losing traction. Very, very easy. Everything, that all the important information is relayed to me through this base. And it feels realistic, you know. I mean, there, whoa. I'm liking this base. This is one of them products. I tell you now, It's gonna make a lot of people happy, especially at $250. Whew. It's good. Anyway, okay, we are here in Dirt Rally. I've been playing around a little bit here just in the free roam map. Something I've noticed here, the bottom here, the flat steering wheel, 100%. It's not something that bothers me in iRacing, not even in the slightest. But when you are rallying or drifting, I suppose this would have definitely been better if it was a round wheel. So yeah, we're in Dirt Rally. As I'm going over them bumps, I can actually feel it. See now, as the car has grip, the steering is nice and heavy. As soon as I go and I force the car to lose grip, like there, it goes very nice and light till we regain some traction, and then I can actually feel it in the wheel again. See, sometimes when you're spinning like this, if you want to change gears, looking for them smaller shifters obviously is not ideal. But yeah, I had a blast playing this in rally. Unfortunately, I don't have a handbrake here, so I was using my spacebar as a handbrake. But no, I mean, just having fun here, even going through this water. As soon as you're going over a jump, you can feel how the steering becomes lighter. Like, look at, and as soon as you land, you actually feel the jolt. If I were to hit a bush, for example, go over this bush here, like that, it translates. I feel everything clear as day on this. I have to say, very nice. There's nothing regarding the force feedback for a 5 Newton meter base and wheel that I am disappointed in. I actually think it is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, no, definitely I would have liked the wheel to be around. Sorry, I don't have a handbrake unless I use my spacebar over here. Let's put it in reverse. But yeah, going over the jump, like they're airborne, I can feel how light my steering rack is, even there, the car falling. Nah, the force feedback on this has well impressed me, especially for a desk mounted, setup. I can tell you now, you're going to be very happy with this little 5 Newton meter monster. Yeah. My conclusion, what do I think here about the Kamma C5? Listen here, honestly, I was really pleasantly surprised by this wheelbase for a couple of reasons. The first reason, I can't believe how much fun I actually had. And I'll put my hands up, it's been a very long time that I've used a sim racing product that's been mounted to a table desk. And do you know what? You can really have an absolute great time. And that brings me on to my next point. I think this here is a fantastic product to make people fall in love with sim racing. I think this is a product that's going to get a lot of people hooked on sim racing. I mean, there's nothing on the market that you can buy for PC at this price point, $250, that's going to give you, I would say, a better experience. Not at this price point. And I do believe when I say that a lot of people are going to buy this product and they're going to start racing with it. And it's going to cost them a lot more money in the future because, like I say, they're going to start enjoy sim racing. It's going to be just an absolute pleasant experience. And then they might want to be upgrading to the Kamma C12. Now, unfortunately, you won't be seeing that review on here anytime soon. Kamma's wanted me to make like 5 videos, for me to get my hands on the C12. And unfortunately, yeah, I can barely make a video a month. Yeah, honestly, I think if you're looking for a starting wheel, I mean, this was me way back in 2007, using phone books to prop up the table to get a bit of an angle. And that was some Thrustmaster thing back in 2007. I can't believe how far technology has come that you can now, I mean, you can't, it's incomparable, a product like that to this. This here is just really a fantastic little device, which I think is going to make a lot of you watching here very happy. Yeah, there's some small improvements they can make. I think they can make it a little bit easier to mount it on, for example, rigs. They can definitely make the shifters that little bit bigger. But other than that, I can't see how much more improvements they can make at this price point. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching if you've stuck it out to here. As always, I hope your next race is a winner. Hallelujah.